Hello YouTube. I hope you're having a fabulous evening. I was supposed to do this video from over the weekend, but this laptop just gave out on your girl, and I actually went to Best Buy and nothing's wrong with it. And it's just so funny how it started working at the store, and now it's working, so I could do this. Yes. So today I wanted to do the history on the West Indians. Yes, so I have always loved on West Indians, and I guess it's because it's in my blood technically. So my great-grandparents are from St. Kitts. And so briefly I just wanted to talk about the three big people. Bob Marley, I mean, that's a given. Y'all know about him. But today I wanted to give flowers to Makendo Daga. He is an activist and former revolutionary of Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm gonna start with him. I'm gonna talk about him today. I'm gonna talk about Louis Louiveture. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but the Haitian Revolution. I actually recently learned about the Haitian Revolution when I worked in Midwood High School at my big age, right? As you know, I'm an assistant teacher, but I'm always learning. I love being an educator because you always are learning too. So, yeah, so, and then we're going to talk about this guy. So, he was born August 1935 and he died August 2016. So he was the leader of the 1970 Black Power Revolution. He was arrested and charged just like many others. Dr. King, he was arrested, as y'all know, when he was going through his protest. So yes, a lot of the times of our people that fought for rights, they were arrested oftentimes. So he rallied against inequalities towards black citizens in Trinidad. In February 1969, Granda founded the National Joint Action Committee. In 2013, Daga was awarded the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and he died August 8th, 2016. So, in 1969, a group of West Indian students occupied the computer center at Sir George Williams University in Montreal. 10 Trinidadian students were among those charged with arson, among other actions. Partly in response to these events in Canada, Granda founded the National Joint Action Committee together with Dave W., later known as Kaftra Cameron. So there you have it, guys. You had your, which I didn't know that because you know you always hear about America and how we fought for civil rights and everything. They was fighting in TNT too. They was fighting in Trinidad as well. So on to my next person. I'll be talking about Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey. Now, Marcus Garvey is a very popular name, but a lot of people don't know that he was a Jamaican. Okay, he was not American. He was, and I think that's so important because, again, it shows that our West Indian brothers and sisters, they fought for rights as well. It's not spoken about because obviously we're in America, and there's a disconnect between Americans and West Indians, which I don't know why, because we literally have the same issues. So I don't know why there's so much like tension between us. You have Americans who don't like West Indians because of the lies that were told. When West Indians and Africans came to this country, it was told that they was taking all the jobs, like everything that they saying about the migrants now, that's what they were saying about the West Indians in the 60s, that they were taking all the jobs, and they was trying to be here for free. And it was the Great Migration. It was in the 60s. You had a lot of West Indians coming from all over the Caribbean to coming into America. Most people from the Caribbean, including Haiti, are second and third and some fourth generation Caribbean people. I am fourth generation because that was my great grandparents that came from St. Kitts. So they came here like early 1900s, because my grandmother was born here. She was born 1919, but she was born here. So that's third generation. So yeah, I'm fourth generation St. Kitts, and proud to say that everybody, all her kids came out good. I had an uncle who really made it, and they all took care of each other. They really did as a family. And unfortunately, the traditions of the West Indies, it didn't trickle down to us. We're very American. Like, my mom doesn't even eat West Indian food. I love West Indian food because I just grew to like it. So when I was in the 5th grade, there was a Jamaican spot down the street. I didn't have a liking. I had to teach myself how to cook because my mom never put seasoning in the food. So Sunday dinners, I would go to my friend's house from church, and she and I got really close. And her mother was from Trinidad, and she would cook. She was a really good cook. And that's how I started appreciating the culture, through her. And then going to school, and mostly everybody was West Indian. And just when you live in Brooklyn, you're prone to West Indian culture. It's impossible to not know the culture, right? And then as I got older, just hanging around people from Trinidad, and the parties, the soca parties. Soca is known for soca. Trinidad is known for soca, right? So in Brooklyn, if you're in the Brooklyn area, Flatbush, they have spots called Sip and Chat, and all up and down Flatbush you could always find a soca spot or a Trinidadian spot, Jamaican. So yeah, that's that. So Marcus Garvey was a Jamaican political activist, and he was born August 1887. He was the founder and first President General of the Universal Negro Improvement Association of African Communities League, commonly known as UNIA, though which he declared himself provisional president of Africa. Garvey was ideologically a black nationalist and pan-Africanist. His ideas came to be known as Garveyism. So, from what I know of him, he actually was trying to get people to go back to Africa, and they wasn't letting that happen. They actually was like trying to stop us from doing that. But he had like really good ideas. He was born in a moderately prosperous Jamaican family in St. Ann's Bay, and he worked in Kingston, and he became involved in trade unionism. Now, trade unionism is trade union is an organization of workers whose purpose is to maintain or improve the conditions of their employment, such as attaining better wages and benefits. So that's cool. Although he never got a chance to visit the continent, he was committed to Back to Africa movement, arguing that part of the diaspora should migrate there. Yeah, so I was reading up on it so I don't have to keep reading off the screen. But basically, so Webb Du Bois, he was another activist, and they had beef. They didn't get along. It also says something about Garvey had ties to the KKK, and I'm like, I hope that's not true. But bottom line, he was a Jamaican activist, and he spoke for the people. Now, the next person I wanted to speak about was Haitian political activist, and yeah, hold on. Toussaint Louiveture. I think I'm saying it right. Yeah. So, if you're ever in the Brooklyn area in Flatbush, there's a street named after him inside of Little Haiti. So, my first knowledge about, people always think I'm Haitian because my last name is Vals, which is a French name. As far as I know, we are not Haitian, but we really don't know because it's obviously a slave name. And the interesting about Haitians, historically, they stick together, and they were like one of the first people to like become independent. They're very proud people, and actually the first ones to get independent is Jamaica. I remember looking that up. And but you had a very powerful man by the name of Toussaint Louiveture, and basically the way it goes is, so the Europeans obviously had slaves from England and France. Obviously those slaves were separated. So Beyonce says her forefathers or her ancestors came from Louisiana. So that's what I was told. I was told that my ancestors are from Louisiana, New Orleans, but we don't really know, because obviously when you're dealing with slavery, people travel, people take their slaves everywhere. And like my father always say, we're all the same people, we just got off a different boat stop. You know, they dragged us from Africa, right? And our people sold each other out. And so what happened was, everybody didn't go to America. They dropped some slaves off, and that's what I meant to talk about today is some of us pick cotton, some of us pick sugarcane, right? In the movie Emancipation, which is about 2-3 years old now, with Will Smith, that particular slave was Haitian. He was Haitian, and he came to America, and that picture is very historic because that's when people realized and got the visual of slavery and the brutality that our ancestors were going through. And it's a picture of whelps on the back. So if you ever have, I think it should still be on what is that, Prime? Where did I see it on? I feel like I saw it on Prime. But it's just an excellent movie. I'm not a Will Smith fan, but he did his thing in that. And that particular slave that they were talking about was Haitian. So, but when it comes to slavery, they put us everywhere. So Beyonce, her last name is Knowles. So they had a lot of African women that the way they bought their freedom was to have a baby with the master. There's a movie called Feast of All Saints, and so our people come in all shades. It has nothing to do with being mixed with white, but if you were fair skinned or they found you attractive, other women would, what they would call, what it implied to be like speed dating, but the way they hooked it up is there was an agreement that you would have, the master would pick you up from wherever, and it'll be a group of women, and you would be a slave girl, but the agreement is you had to have his children. So he would actually bring you to the house with his wife there, and you would have his children. And the Feast of All Saints is so good because it shows the house Negro mentality. So Malcolm X talks about the field Negro and the house Negro. So Arnez from 101, I don't know if y'all millennials remember him. He's in this movie, and he's so good in the movie because he's angry at his mother. And he's angry at his mother because his mother is a French woman who he was told that when he turned 18 that he would have property. That was the agreement, that he got an education and property. So the mother, she's like, well, you should be happy that you have a place to stay and you were well educated. He's like, Mom, how do you call this freedom? I don't have a job and I don't have property. This man said that when I turn 18 I will get property. So they actually have a scene. It's like a long movie, and I actually had the DVD. I forgot who told me. I feel like somebody told me about it and I got the DVD. But it was so good because there's a scene in there where the master is literally beating him off the property, saying, get off my property. And he's like, yo, you said when I was 18 I would get this property. So basically the man lied to him. And so Arnez, he's playing the boy. He's like, yo, Ma, this dude lied and said when I was 18 I would get property. She goes, oh, well, you should be grateful that you had an education and this and that. He's like, he's a liar. Like, he lied to you. He said that if you had kids with him, he would do this, that, and the third. So she, to me, is a perfect example of a house Negro. She's so brainwashed. And there's people like that today, that they could be treated like crap at a job. And you trying to put them on like, yo, so-and-so is hiring with better pay, better benefits. And they like, well, why should we leave? It's good here. The master feed us well. Bitch, we about to get laid off. Like, what you saying? Like, but it's the same thing. House nigger, field nigger. So she definitely was a house Negro because to her, it's not a big deal that, oh, you're not getting property. Like, as a mother, it should have been like, where's my son's house? You said he would get property, right? But she was so brainwashed that she didn't see the bigger picture. She didn't see that there's something wrong with that. This man you had an agreement with this man. You're not in love with this man. The agreement was that he would give you your freedom, and he would give your son his freedom, and not just freedom, but the ability to own property, right? That's something that's important, to be able to live in your own space. They didn't have apartments back then. So he denied him that, and the mother didn't see nothing wrong with it. And I thought that was just a powerful scene because he was young, but he was woke. And he understood that he got played, and he was like, nah. So I think later on in the movie, he does get his property and he continues to fight. But that was going on. That is what was going on with the French folks. These, I feel like that's a little bit worse than the English. Like the English, they would just, put them in fields of sugarcane and stuff like that. And then, of course, in America, they put them down south to pick cotton and stuff like that. It is possible that maybe those masters did the same thing, but the French was known. You have a lot of people that are mixed with French that are black because of stuff like that. Because they were having relationships with these women. And the agreement was, I'm not going to beat you. I'm not going to do anything of the sort. But I do want to have relations with you. Sometimes the wife couldn't have children. So instead of getting another white woman, they were sexually, it's a weird thing because some of them would beat these women. And so it's like, this person is your property. The wife is their property too. But that's one thing I can't understand. Like, how would these men have sex with the slaves? Like, they would, some of them wasn't even raping them. It was like, some of it was consensual, I guess, because for the slave, they felt like they didn't have a choice. I don't know, but that's just what I know about the French, the little that I do know. Like, and let's get right into it. So, Toussaint Louiveture was Haitian. Okay, he died April 7th, 1803. He was the leader of the Haitian independence movement during the French Revolution. Oh, okay. From 1787 to 1799. He emancipated the enslaved people and negotiated for the French colony on Hispaniola. So that was an area where the slaves were, and so he was able to do that for them. Louverture was the son of an educated enslaved person. He acquired through just sweet context some knowledge of French. Though he wrote and spoke poorly, usually speaking Haitian Creole, which, by the way, is not proper French, it's improper French, just in case if people want to know. Like, Creole is a language, but it was created to distract the masters. So the Haitian people were very intelligent people, so I don't think any other slaves thought of that. But a lot of people don't understand, like, Creole came for survival. It wasn't just, Creole, baby, all la la. It's not just a love language to talk to the homies. The Creole was created to survive. These people had to speak Creole because you have to understand they were enslaved people. So they had to think to themselves, how can we come up with a language that the master can't understand? Right? How come that the enemy can't understand? And I just love that thought process. You know what I'm saying? These people was enslaved, but they wasn't going out like that. So Creole language is just one of those languages that's dope because they did that to distract the master, right? Because the master spoke proper French, right? So Creole, they couldn't understand it. Like, yo, what they talking about? It was all right because they knew what each other was saying, So, African and tribal language. He was legally freed in 1776, and he married and had 2 sons. He was short and small framed. He dressed simply and was a vegetarian. Oh, wow. Okay. His energy and capacity for work was astonishing. Yeah. He was also a former slave. I don't know if I mentioned that. But yes, real quick about the Haitian Revolution. So I just learned this, like, when did I learn this? 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. In a global class where I was the assistant teacher. And I was like, I just gotta share this because I know if I didn't know this, I'm like, why didn't I know about this? So, why was there a Haitian Revolution? There was a Haitian Revolution because your people got tired. That's why. They said enough is enough, right? And so basically, you don't really hear about French people enslaving people. There's this false narrative that they was nice and stuff. I don't think they was nice. I don't know. But bottom line, they had slaves. And they was tired of it, right? So it was a coincidence that these Africans, these enslaved individuals spoke French, right? They spoke French because their masters were French. That's the only reason. Just wanted to put that out there in case people were confused. I speak English because obviously, my ancestors that were slaves spoke English. You know, in St. Kitts and in the Caribbean, they speak English, right? Haitians speak French because their masters spoke French. Simple. Right, y'all get it. So it was from 1791 up into 1804, and it was led by Toussaint, and he was a former slave. And so they used fire, they used everything to fight back, right? The revolution was the only known slave uprising, wow, in human history that led to the founding of a state which was both free from slavery. See, look at that. See, now they put it out there like Nat Turner was the only one, or Harriet Tubman. Look at that. Your Haitians went against slavery, folks. It's a wonderful thing. So they uprised and they tore stuff down and they burned stuff and they did what they had to do. So yeah, ended in 1804, and it involved black, biracial, French, Spanish, British, and Polish participants. Okay. And he was Haiti's most prominent general. He was the face of Haiti, basically. So the successful revolution was a defining moment in history of the Atlantic world. And the revolution's effects on the institution of slavery were felt throughout the Americas. Awesome. The end of French rule and the abolition of slavery in the former colony was followed by a successful defense of the freedoms the former slaves had won, and with the collaboration of already free people of color of their independence from white Europeans. The revolution was the largest slave uprising since Spartacus. Wow. I just think y'all don't understand, because I never learned this. Like, so I just heard about the uprisings here, you know, with your boy Nat Turner. In case y'all don't know who Nat Turner is, he like burned down like white people houses and stuff. He got caught, unfortunately, but he tried to uprise, you know, or whatever. But they was very successful, you know, the Haitian Revolution. So kudos for them, you know. And that's huge that it was the largest slave uprising since Spartacus. If you ever heard of Spartacus, that was the Romans had people in slaves, and wow, that's just, I love reading that. I just love that. Blah blah blah. Their ability to achieve and maintain their own freedom. The rebels' organizational capacity and intensity under pressure inspired stories that shocked and frightened slave owners in the hemisphere. So they got scared. They like, oh snap, you know, because they were successful, and that's the important thing. They were successful, you know. Then this talks about the slave economy. So basically in America we were picking cotton, and I think I mentioned in the Caribbean the big thing was sugarcane. So much of the Caribbean economic development in the 18th century is 1700s, was contingent on Europeans' demand for sugar. Plantation owners produced sugar as a commodity crop from cultivation of sugarcane, which I just mentioned, which required extensive labor. The colony of Saint Domingue also had extensive coffee, cocoa, and indigo plantations. but these were similar and less profitable than the sugar plantations. So that's the only difference between us. That is, some of us, we were in different countries, but the Americans was picking cotton while the West Indians was picking sugar. That is the only difference. And yeah, we do have cultural differences. Haitian food is a little bit spicier than Southern food, or Trinidadian food might taste a little different. But we are all the same people, folks. And that's why I wanted to make this video. And I hope y'all really watch this video and listen to it and be like, damn, we are all the same. Like, I was just thinking about that today. Like, my coworker, the school I'm at now, I love it so much. And what my coworker says? She's like, I just blend in. I do, because it doesn't matter where I go. People always think that I'm from their culture. It's amazing. Like, people can't figure out where the fuck I'm from. Like, and you know why? Because I am a black woman and I have the Eve DNA. Oh, yes, we do. So the reason why, an Indian person thinks I'm Indian, or you have Hispanic people, they think I'm Hispanic, or you have Haitian people, they think I'm Haitian, or it's not a race of people who don't think I'm them. Even white people think I'm mixed with white. Like, and it's because as a black woman, I have the Eve DNA. There's people who think that this is a weave. This is not a weave, okay? This is my hair. This is all mine, right? I'm a black woman. I'm black, 100% black. My mother's side West Indian, my father American. I'm black, 100% black. I trace my ancestors. We all black. Black, 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 black. So, now going way back to my ancestor and the master Vouse. Somebody on my Facebook from my family, they traced it and they said allegedly he's a white man, whatever. But bottom line, we are all the same people. I don't care where you come from. We're all the same people. And especially with Caribbean people and Southern people, Americans, I just hope that we could all sit down and just, like Martin Luther King had a dream. My dream is that people become more educated about each other's cultures, and you would really see that we are more alike than we are different. Those are my thoughts.